What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today, playing some Idle Heroes. I'm going to thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me today. If you liked the video, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button to show your support. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright guys, we're here today on Refresh Day because it's Refresh Day. There's new events, there's lots to talk about, so we're going to talk about stuff. Let's jump. I don't think any heroes were changed. I'm like 42% sure, but I'm probably wrong, but I don't think there was. So we're just going to jump into the events that we're going to do. If you guys have any of the pumpkin pies and whatnot left, you still get a little bit of time. Like, you'll have like a half hour after this gets uploaded to spend them. But you got an extra day to spend them. As for the turkeys, it was a sad day for Wrath. We lost on 39. So close. Just one more turkey was all I needed for 10 orbs and 20 relics. But you know what? That's just the way the game goes. It's the way the cookie crumbles. Didn't happen for us. The Great War's Blessing's still going on, so if you haven't completed that or at least done something in it, you still have time. I don't know, I'll probably make I don't know if I actually even can make any more gear. I don't think I have enough sets, like full sets left. I think I'm almost out of everything, but whatever, not important. The value packages for this week are going to revolve around super chips and profit orbs, which you'll see why shortly. But nothing special in there is in terms of like skins or heroes or anything. It's just kind of that. That brings us down to the other spending option, the Black Gold Card 2.0. 2.0, and it's a 15-day card, so it's actually really powerful. I mathed it out, and it's like, I think it's 140 million gold for a level 100 player. Over the course of 15 days, obviously. So that's a lot. Not to mention you get like 12,000 gems, and you're also going to get like 30 relics. So it's a really good buy. Like, I know I'm going to buy it. 100% already bought it on my mini account because there's no reason not to if you're going to spend some money. This is a great value for your money. I mean, 12,000 gems, it's a lot of gems. You're also going to get like over 100 million gold. Can't really argue with that, not to mention the glorious relics. Really good card. Some people are a little upset there was nothing in there for like VIP level bonus scaling, which I understand. I mean, if you spent $20,000 in the game, if something comes out like a black gold card, you can be like, hey, why don't I get like the gym reward times my VIP level? You know what I'm saying? Reward the spenders. I get what they're saying. I wouldn't be upset if that happened. It would make sense. Or give the glorious relics, you know, multiplied by your VIP level, something like that. Makes sense. But anyways, with that out of the way, there's a new thing we've never seen before here, and that's the VIP special offers. What these essentially are is, depending on how high VIP level you are, obviously all the way down to VIP 13, you're able to spend gems to get things. In this case, some pretty decent stuff. Now, if you're a free-to-play player, all you can buy is this first node, but keep in mind, it's actually a really good deal. It's 100 gems for 10 super chips, or 10 regular casino chips. If you go in your market, 8 is 240, so it's less than half the normal cost. So there's really no reason not to pick that up. It's a pretty good deal. No reason not to. As you start climbing the VIP levels, you get better offers, like 4 heroic summons for 200 gems. That means each heroic summon is only 50 gem cost, which is actually really good, so we're going to go ahead and buy that. And then your next VIP level is 500 gems for 6 heroic summons and 10 wishing coins. Well, obviously, that's still cheaper than 100 gems per heroic scroll, so we're going to buy that too. Moving on down, you're going to start getting into the hero copies. Vesa for 1,000 gems. Actually really cheap, you know, seeing as she used to be a really expensive and top tier hero until she gets buffed, which she may get buffed after this event. I don't know. Usually that's how they do it. They'll like launch the hero like Berea, and they'll be like, he's a reward, and everybody's like, oh, that guy sucks. And then right after the event, after nobody got him, they're like, oh, we buffed Berea, and everybody's like, ah, balls, I didn't get him. So stuff like that usually happens. So I don't know. Maybe that'll be the case here. Who knows? Who knows? Moving down, we've got 10 heroic summons for 1,500 gems. Now, that's their normal buying cost just for regular single price. Like if you buy one, it's 150. So if you buy 10, 1,500. But you also get a 5-star hero with it. Not sure if it's worth for me, but we'll see. There's also a Sigmund here, which is hot news. And 5 super chips, which we'll get into why that's important here in a little second. But obviously, as you see, it just keeps going down and down. I have no idea what the costs are for VIP 7 Plus because I'm VIP 6. But I'm thinking really hard about picking up this. I'm going to do it. We're buying the Sigmund. I need a Sigmund to 10-star my Sigmund, so there's really no reason not to pick that up. Plus 5 super chips, not bad. I'll take it, mainly for the Sigmund copy, though. I debated picking this one up, but Elite 5-star shards have really screwed me over, so Not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. That brings us down here to the Black Friday Carnival. Another completely new event that we've never seen before. It's brand new. Essentially, you get a point by consuming a Prophet Orb or a Super Wishing Coin. The max points obtained by consuming Prophet Orbs and Super Wishing Coins are 240 and 60 respectively, which means if you spend 61 Super Chips, you're only going to get 60 points. They're not going to give you the extra point for the 61st Super Chip because that's not how it works, apparently. However, 240 Prophet Orb points or a full-on completion of the Prophet Summon event 4 times. That's the max number, I believe. No, I'm wrong. It's 3 completions. Whatever. Shh. Calm down. Calm down. But you get some rewards out of it. So for your first 30 points, you get 10 heroic summons. Not bad. For 60 points, which is still in line with you completing the Prophet Orb event for the first time, 80, that's going to give you 10 more Prophet Orbs, which is great, especially if you're a newer player and you're just a hair under being able to get the last few Prophet Orbs to fully complete the Prophet Orb event. That's going to get you there pretty much. It's not bad. Moving down to 100 points, you get Shia, which is fantastic for this account because I want Shia. I want Shia really bad, like super bad. So that's cool. I'm definitely going to get that. It's going to be a thing. Moving up to 150 points, this is moving out of the territory. Like a free-to-play player can easily get to 100 points. If you aren't there, then you either didn't save properly or you're incredibly new to like the game and you haven't really learned the style of saving and chaining progress through events, because it's really not that hard now after all the changes have been made to like the monthly events and stuff to complete Prophet Orb events and such. And since this scales with your Prophet Orb event, I think everybody should be able to get 100 points here. It just doesn't seem that hard. But moving down here, you're going to start moving away from free-to-play players more and more into the spending territory. You're going to get an Amuvor copy and Amuvor's new skin, which does look pretty cool. Looks kind of like, looks a little bit like Crota, but purple. A little bit, not crazy, but if you don't know who that is, then I don't know. You haven't played Destiny, I guess? It's thing. But he does look kind of cool. It's like a big insect, though. I don't know, like an alien insect. But it's not bad. I kind of like it. Anyways, that's the new skin and Amuvor copy. When you get to 220 points, you get probably one of the most sought-after artifacts in the game right now because Valkyrie's popularity is so high. The Rune's Power, which is a really good artifact for really any forest unit. You can't really go wrong with it. It's not bad. High amount of reduced damage, huge amount of HP. It really tanks up one of your units, so kind of worth getting. And the new artifact, it comes out at 300 points, which means you've got to literally spend 240 orbs and 60 super chips to get this, which is obviously spender territory hardcore. You get the new thing, the Kiss of Ghost. Ghost kissing. It gives attack, armor break, and HP. I don't know how powerful it's going to end up being at maxed. I haven't seen a maxed one. I doubt anybody has, unless, well, you might have. There's probably some whales out there that already got it and maxed it out. I wouldn't doubt it. HP and attack is definitely nice. There's, that's good. It boosts your tank ability. It also boosts your damage. Can't really argue with it. The armor break stat's kind of where it loses me, is I'm not sure why that was the third pick, because it doesn't really seem all that great. Like, armor breaks, it's nice in some cases, but overall, usually that's not like a really big deal. If you're fighting bosses, you're probably removing armor with your units anyway to do the best damage you can. And in PvP, while armor removal or armor break is kind of nice on certain units, usually the units with really high armor stats aren't big threats in PvP. It's things that have, high reduced damage stats instead, things like that. So armor is not really a big deal for PvP, and in PvE, generally speaking, you're probably going to be stripping armor off anyway. So I'm not really sure how great the new artifact is. I mean, it doesn't seem bad. HP and attack obviously are good things, but the armor break is, I don't know. I don't know about it. But that's the Black Friday Carnival. I'm pretty down with it, mainly because there's a Shia in there, and I want Shia, so it's all good. All good for me. Moving down, we've got the Prophet Summon event. As per usual, same rewards as always, pretty much. You got your 4-star Light and Darks for your very first node. Then you get a 5-star Fortress, a 5-star Shadow. And then at 40 and 50 points, you're going to get your Light and Dark 5-star Heroes, which is great, because that changed into the Heroic Miracle, which is also running. But at 60 points, you get a Rosa, which... I've been a little unfair to Rosa in the past, because I didn't really like him. I didn't really think he was that great. But in terms of strictly PvE use, if you're just using Rosa to fight bosses with, he's actually not bad. He debuffs enemy attack, he boosts your team's attack, and he also removes enemy armor. Plus, he gives your team some reduced damage when he gets low in health. All of those things are really handy, especially when you're fighting really tough bosses, or bosses that are, stronger than your team, or, up there in the power levels. Rosa's really handy there. But he doesn't translate well at all into PvP or really any other area of the game, like the Aspen Dungeon, tower, maybe a little tower, but not really. Whereas something like Cruce is far more versatile. You're going to have Cruce that works really well in PvP, but also works well in PvE, has a little bit of healing, which is nice pretty much everywhere, and the crowd control is really nice in a lot of different areas. So while Rose is really solid in PvE, he doesn't move around in other areas very well, so a lot of people don't build him anymore. But if you're strictly sticking on PvE and you don't really care at all about PvP, it's not your jam, he's not a bad unit to build. That leads us to the last reward here, Cthulhu, with the Glorious Relics as well. Which, to me, the Glorious Relics are probably more important to me than Cthulhu is going to be this event. Cthulhu's a bit weird. He dropped at a weird time. Everybody was in their big Valkyrie craze, so Cthulhu didn't really get a lot of popularity. I think he's still a pretty decent unit. He has some interesting skills that kind of pair well with each other, but I don't think he's a god tier hero. I don't think he's on the level of things like Shia even, King Barton, Valkyrie, Scary. He's not up there with those, I wouldn't say, but he's still pretty decent, and he's got some uses. The fact that he can't be burnt is kind of handy, especially if you're fighting Valkyries. So if you built a really tanky Cthulhu with really high HP stat on purpose to try to soak up Valkyrie's quote-unquote burn, might not be a bad counter to her, but like I said, he popped out at a really bad time, so nobody was focused on Cthulhu. Everybody was like, let's build Valkyries, because she's obviously the new meta shifter, and everybody started building Valkyrie, and Cthulhu's like, hey, somebody love me. And some people do give him some love. I'm not a huge fan of him. I think he does have roles he can fulfill pretty decently, but he's not somebody I'm going to target building on any of my accounts, because I don't feel like he's good enough anywhere in particular to be worth a build. Like, he's kind of mediocre everywhere. He's not like a god anywhere. So, I don't know. I'm not that worried about him. But that's the Prophet Summon event. As always, 80 points will get it finished, and then you can do it 4 times, which is crazy. If you do that, you're crazy. You're crazy, man. But some people do it. And that brings us down to the Heroic Miracle with one of my awesomely favorite good, awesome PvE and PvP heroes. The Dasmog is the reward, and he is an absolute freak beast once you get him to E3. Really cool hero, too, by the way. I like him. So it's a pretty solid reward, especially for a newer player if you can complete it. That's going to throw another dark hero into your bag, which helps you complete the next Heroic Miracle. And that's kind of what I talk about when I talk about chaining progress in your events, is stuff like this. If you can complete the Heroic Miracle all the way, you're going to grab 10 new Prophet Orbs to help you with the next Prophet Orb event. You're also going to grab 24 Heroic Summons, which again, that's going to help you make progress later down the road. Every event you do, even as a free-to-play player, your goal should be trying to chain progress as fast as possible early game to get a solid team, and then as you get that team kind of built up, you can start slow rolling it a little bit, like I want to fully complete this next event 100%. But honestly, the way the game runs right now, the only event even a free-to-play player shouldn't be able to do within their first couple of months playing is the Heroic Summons. That's the hardest event to complete still. It's not easy at all. But Prophet Orbs, especially with the monthly events the way they are now, where you get, you get 5 here just from doing this, plus you get a decent amount of gems. I need to finish up my Crystal Crown League. Got 3 points left to do. But the Tavern Quest is going to knock you out a hot 20, I lied. 20 Prophet Orbs, that's a quarter of what's 25% of the entire event just in your Tavern Quest each month. I mean, it's not that hard anymore. They've made it so much easier to do the Prophet Orb event. It's really nice, I think. It's a good deal. But, like I said, really the only one you shouldn't be able to do realistically is the Heroic Summon. That's the hardest one. It always has been, because that's where they debut new heroes. They come with Heroic Summon events, and they want the new heroes to be picked up by spenders rather than free-to-play players. And, spenders to max them first, and that's what happens. So it makes sense to me. I understand why they do it. The Heroic Summon's still pretty hard, but casino events are super easy now. Pretty much everything's pretty easy as free-to-play now, especially if you compare it to when I started. It's night and day different. Back when I started, your Prophet Summon event was 120 points to complete it. And that was much harder to get, especially we didn't have monthly events. There was no ability to get, tons and tons of free Prophet Orbs and stuff just by doing your Tavern Quest. It wasn't a thing. You didn't get that. So, ever since the new updates, it's been much, much more friendly to free-to-play players, which is great. And it makes me wonder why free-to-play players still whine. I still see it happen, these events are for spenders. Well, yeah, some of them are going to be. The people have to pay their bills that make the game. It's a free-to-play game. You didn't have to spend $10 to play it. you got to play it for free. So they got to pay their bills. I understand that. And that's why I think it's important that they do reward their spending players. It makes sense because they're the ones that are paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, there's really no reason nowadays, like after all these updates, to really whine being free to play because you have it easier than any free to play player has ever had it before you. So just be happy with it. Be happy that everything's as easy to do as it is now because that's nice. But that's pretty much the event in its whole. I could talk about every single hero that is in the event, but I feel like it would take ages because there's a lot of them. I mean, I'd have to go through Vesa, Sigmund, King Bart, and Jara, and then I'd have to go through Shia, Amuvor, and then Dasmog, and all that junks. And I was like, you know what? And Rosa and Cthulhu. And I was like, you know what? That seems like a lot of heroes to talk about. This would be like a 45-minute video if I did that, and I don't really want to run it that long. Just personal preference. So instead, we'll kind of cut it a little bit shorter and talk about what I'm going for this week. I've obviously got more than enough profit orders to complete the event. And I've got 130, so technically speaking, I could shoot for Amuvor if I wanted to. I don't really care to get Amuvor. I don't need him. I'm not going to build him on this account. Building more than one light or dark unit is a light spender is incredibly difficult to do. So I'm going to be building Dasmog. As you can see, I've already got him kind of started. Amazing. Amazing. But I do have one more copy in my bag already, so I've got a potential 9-star with the one from the event. That'll be one away from a 10-star, and that's going to be kind of cool. I'd like to get my Dasmog up and running, but also Shia. I've got a 10-star Shia on this account. She's amazing. I like my Shia. She's really good. But I need to get her to E3, so the event this time is going to give me a free Shia copy. I do plan to use I'm thinking about going all... I don't know if I'll do 100 orbs, but definitely 80 orbs straight up in Fortress faction to try to grab more Sigmund copies because I'd like to get him to E3 as well. Poke. Amazing. But he's pretty solid. I like him for his armor stripping and really solid boss damage, and he's tanky, which is great. But Shia, I want to get her to E3 pretty quick because she's awesome. I like her. She's decent dual role unit. She works pretty well in PvP, surprisingly, but she also does really good damage in boss fights. So I like her. She really fits in my team. I like the way she runs. I wants to use one. So I'd like to get the copy from the event, would get her to E1. Then I only need one more copy. If my profit orbs drop that, I'm ready to E3 her pretty much, other than, obviously fusing up the food, which, let's be honest, is going to be a little bit of a sticking point. I've got some 6-stars kind of hanging around. I've got 4 Horus copies. I did end up buying the Thanksgiving package last week, so I ended up with 3 Horuses. I was like, I kind of got to. I kind of have to do it, because this is a PvE account, so Horus is going to be really good there. But we're only one Horus copy short of a 10-star. I debated splitting orbs between Fortress and Shadow, but I feel like Horus is a long way to go. I mean, he's a 5-star right now. A basic 5-star. He's got a long time before he's like a staple of my team. So instead, I feel like it's probably a better idea to bump my Shia up and then bump my Sigmund up or my Heart Watcher to 10-star as well, and try to round my team out a little bit more tankily and then start pushing into Horus. But we'll see how all that goes. Like I said, we don't really know yet. And I'm really on the fence about a lot of my stuff, because I've got other units I want to use. Like, for example, I've got my Gurki at the 7s, alright? After this event, I'll have him at 8, but I've got 2 Belrains here, and if you guys didn't catch it, I've also got 2 in my bag. So I'm only 1 Belrain copy short of a 10-star Belrain, and she is incredibly strong right now. Like, everyone loves Belrain now. She boosts your healing effect, she boosts speed, she boosts attack. She also has really nice heals when she dies. Nice heals on her basic attack, especially when you pair those heals with boosted healing effects. It's really nice. Plus, she has control immunity now. So she works really well in PvE and PvP. I would say Belrain is now one of the new god tier heroes. She was always good, but with the new buff to her, she's just really good. I like her a lot. So I'm thinking about 10-starring my Gurkinator, and then swapping him with my soul symbols for Belrain, and having a 10-star Belrain just kind of put into my team that way. And then I can probably get rid of Vesa. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Whether or not I have to swap her out for like another E3 Valkyrie, or I don't know. I don't even really know what I would do with her. There's not a lot of decent forest units. Well, I mean, there's some decent forest units. But if you already have a Heart Watcher, you don't swap for a second Heart Watcher. I mean, double Valkyrie would be an okay build. It would make sense. But, yeah, I don't really know what I want to do with my Vesa yet. Unless she gets a really nice buff. Like I said, if she gets a really crazy good buff, I might run Belrain, and Vesa for crazy heals. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, the future is a weird place. We don't know what it holds. But that's pretty much the plans for the event. We're already back to over 100 heroic summons, which is great. Starting to build up for the next one, which I probably won't be ready for the Christmas event. I'm not going to lie about things. That'd be pretty crazy. But everything else is looking pretty nice. I'd like to spend some super coins. There's a Berea on the wheel. I don't think I'm going to spin for Berea. I'm going to probably try to build stuff I already have. Maybe as scary as possible, because I'm only one copy short of a 10-star scary. It's a thing. And we'll see about that. But I think that's going to be it for today. We've covered the new events pretty much in their entirety. You've seen my humiliatingly sad defeat at 39 turkeys, which is sad. My mini account did make it to the King of Demons, by the way. But we also spent like $100, $150. So, wait. Was that it? I don't know. I spent some monies. We'll call it that. I don't remember how much. It was some monies. But anyways, yeah, that's still a thing. Keeping this in mind. We've talked about all the new stuff, the black card being super hot. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about the event. I've seen some people saying, oh, this event's going to suck. I don't see how you can say that because, A, even if you're not a VIP, if you have 0 VIP status at all, you still have the Prophet Summon and Heroic Miracle running together, which is awesome. Those are 2 great events to run together. Plus, you got a Das Moog as the top reward for Heroic Miracle, which is a god tier hero, 100%. Love the guy. And then you've got, well, I mean, Cthulhu and Rose aren't super great, but you're still picking up some relics. So you know what? Be happy, peeps. I'm telling you. Be happy. It's the happy time of year. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure, smash that thumbs up button and show your support if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and tell your friends about it, because that definitely helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next one.